Welcome back to Satoshi's Daily Podcast. All right, diving right in today, and we're going deep on Bitcoin.
Sounds good.
Got a stack of stories, and they're all pretty interesting. We're going to cover everything from, the market tremors all the way to those wild crypto city plans.
Absolutely.
You ready to unpack all of this?
Let's jump right in.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. I think what's so fascinating about the stories you've shared is how they connect. We've got market trends, then we've got these whales making moves, and then even those big futuristic visions, all connected by Bitcoin.
It's all about Bitcoin. Okay, so first up, Bitcoin flexing its dominance muscles.
Yeah.
Headlines are saying it's at a 3.5-year high.
Yeah.
Almost 60% market share.
It's huge.
What does market dominance even mean?
Okay, so imagine the entire crypto market as a pie, right?
Okay.
Bitcoin's market dominance is basically how much of that pie it's taking up.
Right.
And right now, it's nearing a whopping 60%.
Wow.
Which means that if you invest in crypto, there's a good chance that a big chunk of your portfolio is essentially tied to Bitcoin's fate.
It's like the 800-pound gorilla in the room.
Absolutely.
Bitcoin.
It is.
Now, the interesting thing is some contrasting opinions on what happens next.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There are some analysts out there saying that this dominance is temporary.
Okay.
They're predicting a surge in what we call altcoins.
Okay.
And this would be kind of like what we've seen in past cycles.
Right.
But then you've got another camp saying, nope, Bitcoin is king and its reign is far from over.
Wow. A real crypto crossroads here.
Absolutely.
For someone who's just dipping their toes in,
Yeah.
What's the takeaway?
Well, it just highlights how understanding this whole idea of market dominance is crucial for anyone even thinking about dabbling in crypto. Because if you're holding a bunch of altcoins and Bitcoin makes a move, the entire market can feel that ripple effect.
Like that butterfly effect thing?
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about these early Bitcoin investors.
Yeah.
The whales. One article mentioned a whale moved $630,000 worth of Bitcoin to Kraken.
Yeah, and what's so interesting is that that's not just some isolated incident.
Right.
This particular whale has reportedly moved over $5.5 million in Bitcoin in just the past 2 months.
Wow.
And they're still sitting on a stack worth about $75 million.
Wait, $5.5 million in 2 months? That's wild.
Yeah.
What is driving this? Are they cashing out after all these years, or?
It's really hard to say for certain, right? Because it's almost like we're trying to read tea leaves.
Right.
But we can speculate.
Yeah.
Some experts think that this could signal that these whales, they're kind of sensing a shift in the market.
Okay.
And maybe they are taking profits after Bitcoin's recent price surge. Or perhaps they're being strategic, repositioning their assets in anticipation of something bigger.
It really makes you wonder, do they know something we don't?
Right.
I mean, and it's not just this one whale.
Right.
We talked about those other instances where these whales were basically off the grid for years.
Yeah, like they came out of the woodwork.
And suddenly they're moving millions of dollars.
That's very interesting.
Adds a whole other layer to the mystery.
Absolutely.
Okay, next up, we've got Grayscale, which is a major player in this world of crypto asset management.
Okay, player.
And they're trying to convert their multi-crypto fund into an ETF.
Okay.
Now, this fund, it's not just Bitcoin.
Right.
It's a basket, Ethereum, Solana, a bunch of others.
Got it.
And they're doing this after they successfully converted their Bitcoin and Ethereum trusts into ETFs earlier this year.
Right.
So what is the significance of this ETF conversion?
So this is a big deal because converting a fund into an ETF basically makes it more accessible to a wider range of investors. Think of it like ETFs are the more approachable mainstream cousins of these traditional investment funds.
Okay.
They're listed on stock exchanges. They tend to have lower fees. So it's way less intimidating for someone who's maybe new to the crypto game, but wants to get in on the action.
Okay, so it's kind of like the easier way in. But didn't those previous conversions by Grayscale, didn't that cause some investors to actually sell off shares? I vaguely remember something about discounts.
You're right.
And net asset value.
It did cause some waves.
Can you walk me through that?
Yes. So before the conversion, investors could buy shares in Grayscale's Bitcoin Trust, which is known as GBTC, at a significant discount compared to the actual price of Bitcoin.
So it's like buying Bitcoin on sale.
Basically.
Okay.
But when GBTC transformed into an ETF, that discount vanished. So imagine you have a coupon, right?
Yeah.
For a discount at your favorite store.
Yeah.
And then suddenly that store decides to just honor the coupon's full value.
Okay.
Some early investors who bought GBTC at a steep discount saw this as their opportunity to cash out, lock in a profit.
Right.
They sold their shares, and that's where you saw those outflows that you were talking about.
Okay, so they bought low and sold high.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. So it'll be really interesting to see if this new multi-crypto ETF follows a similar path or if it's different this time around.
Right.
Especially with so much more attention on altcoins now.
And that's what makes it interesting, because Grayscale isn't just stopping with this ETF. They've added 35 new altcoins to a watch list for potential investment products in the future.
Wow, they are really diving into the altcoin pool.
They are all in.
It seems like they're betting big on these alternative cryptocurrencies
Absolutely.
that they're here to stay.
Yeah, it's clear they're diversifying, for sure.
Yeah.
Which, many see as a sign of confidence in the market.
Right.
Beyond just Bitcoin.
Right. Beyond just Bitcoin.
But speaking of shaking things up,
yeah,
let's shift gears over to El Salvador.
Okay.
It's been a couple of years since they dove headfirst into this whole crypto world,
Right.
made Bitcoin legal tender.
It was a big gamble, wasn't it?
It was.
How's it going? Because one of the articles mentioned that over 90% of Salvadorans still aren't using Bitcoin.
The adoption rate has been, I think, slower than people initially thought it might be.
Why do you think that is?
So part of it is probably infrastructure.
Right.
Right. Not everyone has easy access to the tech they need.
Right. We forget that sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that it's not as easy as just, downloading an app for some people.
Exactly. And then there's the whole trust and understanding factor, right?
Yeah. Bitcoin is still new for a lot of people.
It's a learning curve.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
Imagine trying to pay for groceries
Yeah.
with, your rare Pokemon cards, even if you think they're the future.
Right.
Not everyone knows how to do it.
It's going to take some time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of futuristic, though,
Okay.
I found this article about this project called Praxis.
Praxis.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they want to build a whole city
Wow.
with crypto and AI
Interesting.
and fewer regulations. That's the thing that caught my eye.
Okay.
They're claiming $525 million in funding.
So this whole idea of crypto cities,
Yeah.
it's been around for a little while.
Yeah, it's kind of like a...
We've seen projects like Acon City,
Right.
Satoshi Island.
Those are the ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't this kind of fall apart, though?
Let's just say that reality hasn't lived up to the marketing hype.
So this could be another one of those?
It's possible. Because think about it. Constructing a city,
Yeah.
it's a monumental task, even if you have the funding.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Regulatory hurdles,
Right.
logistical nightmares.
And then getting people to actually move there.
Well, that too. Would people actually want to live in a city
Right.
designed around these principles?
Yeah. I'm not sure I'd trade in my life.
It's a thought experiment for sure.
It's interesting to think about,
It is.
but I think I'll just observe from afar.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on that one.
Okay. Maybe we can add it to the bucket list, though,
There you go.
just in case it,
Right, just in case.
becomes this amazing thing. All right. Well, from one maybe city to something a little more concrete,
Okay.
we've got to talk about Tesla and this Bitcoin move.
Yeah, big news.
It's like something right out of a crypto thriller, right?
Oh, absolutely. This has got everybody talking.
They moved their whole Bitcoin stash.
I know.
It was over $765 million
Yeah,
to unknown wallets.
it's very mysterious.
What's going on here? Did Elon finally decide to cash out?
It's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the fact that Tesla's being pretty quiet about it
Right.
just adds fuel to that fire.
Right, because their history with Bitcoin has been, well, interesting, to say the least.
To say the least, it's been a roller coaster, hasn't it?
Yeah, they bought all that Bitcoin back in 2021.
Huge splash.
Then they were accepting it for payments.
Right.
And then they just kind of stopped.
Yeah, slammed on the brakes.
Yeah.
It's been hard to keep up.
So what do we make of this?
Well, because we don't know where those Bitcoins went.
Right.
Everyone's reading into it. And you've got some analysts saying, this is it, they're finally selling.
Okay.
But then others are saying, no, this is strategic.
Right.
They're just moving it offline to cold storage to protect it.
So it's either Elon's changed his mind again,
Right.
or Tesla's playing, 4D chess
Right, exactly. We don't know.
with everybody else.
We just don't know.
And we probably won't know for a while, if ever.
Probably not, and that's Elon for you.
Right. Yeah, he keeps things interesting.
He does. Loves to keep us guessing.
It does make this whole world,
Yeah.
pretty captivating, right?
It's never boring.
There's always something happening.
Never a dull moment.
So we've journeyed from the depths of market dominance.
That's right.
We've gone through these, currents of whale activity.
It's been a wild ride.
We've even looked at these dreams of building these, futuristic crypto cities.
Future.
It's been a deep dive.
It has.
And I think, if anything, it just shows how quickly this whole space is moving.
It's constantly changing.
So, to everyone listening, stay informed.
Absolutely.
Stay curious.
Being curious.
Because, buckle up,
Yeah.
because this is just the beginning, right?
I think just getting started.
So, as we resurface from this deep dive into Bitcoin,
Back to reality.
here's something to think about. Are we watching a fundamental shift
Ooh, good question.
in how we think about money, how we build our cities, all of this?
Yeah.
Or are these just ripples in this big ocean of,
Our progress.
of technological advancement? I don't have the answer,
I don't either.
but I'm excited to find out.
I do.
It's going to be an interesting ride. This concludes today's analysis of the Bitcoin market. We'll be back tomorrow with more data-driven insights.